Assalamu alaikum. We are going to continue explaining Chapter 9 Angles Part 4. Objectives. At the end of this video, students will be able to recognize the bisector of an angle, construct the bisector of an angle using the compass, recognize the complementary angles, and recognize the supplementary angles. Materials. Please, before we start, you have to prepare the following materials. Bisector of an angle. Definition. The bisector of an angle is the semi-line in this angular sector whose origin is the vertex of the angular sector and which divides it into two congruent or equal parts. Example: ABC is a given angle. BH is the bisector of angle ABC. ABC is equal to 80 degrees. BH cuts the angle into two equal parts, which are ABH and HBC, which equal to ABC divided by 2 equal 80 divided by 2 equal 40 degrees. Now let's learn how to construct the bisector of an angle using the compass. Example: the first step, draw two arcs of center Q that cuts QP in B and QR in C. Open your compass, put the needle of the compass on point Q, then draw an arc that cuts semi-line QP at point B, and another arc that cuts semi-line QR at point C. Pay attention that the radius should be the same. You should keep on the same opening of the compass. Second step, draw an arc of center B included in PQR. Now put the needle at point B and draw an arc included in angle PQR. Third step, draw an arc of center C having the same radius as the arc of center B that cuts it at D. Make another arc using the same radius and put the compass on point C, and go ahead and make another arc. The intersection of these two arcs is the point on the bisector. Let's name it D. Fourth step, draw the semi-line QD. QD is the bisector of angle PQR. Assignment: review page 121 part A and 122 part B from the textbook. Homework exercises 12 and 13 page 126 and exercise 14 page 127 also from your textbook. Complementary angles. Definition: two angles are called complementary if their sum is 90 degrees. Example number 1. Here we have two angles GFE and ABC which are complementary, so their sum is always 90. Let's check. Okay. Their sum, as you see, is always 90 degree. 70 plus 20 equal 90 degrees. Example number 2. Here we have AOB and AOC. AOB and AOC are two adjacent complementary angles since they have a same vertex, a common side, and the common side is between the other two angles, and they are complementary since their sum is 90. This is an example. Their sum is always 90. 30 plus 60 is equal to 90. So they are adjacent complementary. Application: complete the following table so that ABC and EFG are two complementary angles. Please pause the video and try to solve it alone. Remember that the sum of two complementary angles is 90. Solution. If ABC equal 20 and EFG equal 70, then the sum of ABC and EFG is equal to 90. If ABC equals 60 and the sum of ABC and EFG is 90, then EFG will be 30, since 30 is the complement of 60. If EFG is 55 degrees and ABC plus EFG is 90, then ABC will be 35 degrees, since the complement of 55 is 35 and 90 minus 55 is equal to 35 degrees. Now we want to learn how to construct two adjacent complementary angles. Example, part 1. Draw AOB such that AOB equal 46 degrees. Of course, we must start and draw the semi-line OA. We bring our protractor and put its center on the vertex, which is O. Bring your pencil and mark on 46 degrees. Bring your ruler and join the points B to O. Here we get BOA or AOB the same, which is 46 degrees. Part 2. Draw BOC adjacent complementary to AOB. First step, before we start drawing, we must search about the common side. What is the common side between BOC and AOB? From the names of the two angles, the common side will be BO and OB. And because the two angles are adjacent complementary, their sum must be 90 degrees, then the new angles that we want to draw it, BOC, will be equal to 90 minus 46, which is equal 44 degrees. Again, because OB is the common side, we have to bring our protractor, put its center on the vertex and lay it on the common side. We start from 0 and mark on 44 degrees. 44 is the fourth dash after 40. Then bring your ruler and join the point C to O. Here we get COB equal 44 degrees and COB will be equal adjacent complementary to BOA, and their sum is equal to 90. Assignment. Review page 122 part 7 Complementary Angles from the textbook. Homework exercises 17 part A and 18 part A-B, page 127 from the textbook. Complementary angles. Definition. Two angles are called supplementary if their sum is 180 degrees. Example number 1. PON and LKJ are two supplementary angles. Their sum is equal to 180 degrees. Let's check. This is an example. 110 plus 70 equal 180 degrees. Let's take another example about supplementary angles. These two angles are always 180 degrees. Their sum is 180 degrees. Let's see. 80 plus 100 equal 180 degrees. Also, these two angles are adjacent because they have a common side BJ, a common vertex, and the common side is between the other two sides. Application exercise 16, page 127 from the textbook. XOY and ZAT are two supplementary angles. Complete part 1, 2, 3. Please pause the video and try to solve it alone. Solution. Part 1. XOY equal 120 degree. So because they are supplementary, their sum must be 180. ZAT will be equal to 180 minus 120 equals 60 degree. Part 2. XOY equal 100 degree. So ZAT will be equal to 180 minus 100, which is equal to 80 degrees. And when XOY is 90 degree, then ZAT will be 180 minus 90 equal 90 degrees. Now we want to learn how to construct two adjacent supplementary angles. Example, draw XOY such that XOY equals 70 degrees. We must draw the semi-line OX. Bring our protractor and put its center on the vertex O. Mark on 70 degrees and join using the ruler the points Y to O. Here we get the angle XOY, which is equal to 70 degrees. Part 2. Draw YOZ adjacent supplementary to XOY. Of course, before we start drawing, we must search about the common side. Where is the common side? Here we have OY. On XOY we have OY. Remark, OY is the common side, and ZOY is equal to 180 minus 70, which is equal to 110, because both angles are adjacent supplementary. Because OY is the common side, so the protractor will lay on OY. Of course, we have to start from 0 and mark on 110 degrees and join Z to O. Here we get a new angle ZOY, which is adjacent to YOX, and they are supplementary angles. Assignment. Review page 123 from the textbook. Homework exercises 17 part B and 18 part C, page 127 from the textbook, plus exercise 1 page 38 and exercise 3 page 39 from your math practice book. Summary. We have learned about types of angles in part 1, adjacent angles and vertically opposite angles in part 2 and 3, and in this part we have talked about the bisector of angle, which is a semi-line that cuts the angles into two equal parts. Here is an example. Complementary angles, their sum is 90 degrees. This is an example about adjacent complementary angles, and supplementary angles, which are two angles that their sum is 180, and here is an example about two angles which are supplementary angles. Thank you for your listening.